some good news out of Berea coming out earlier today. Fred Greetham tweets, Myles Garrett, Joel Bitonio, Jack Conklin, all expected to play. There was a little bit of question earlier in the week about those three. Also some news coming out of Berea. The Browns have activated Jordan Knoshik from the practice squad and Isaac Rochelle, both to the active roster. Let's welcome in Fred Greetham from the Orange and Brown Report, senior analyst. Fred, Garrett and Bitonio, that was concerning yesterday. Conklin back, all those positives for the Browns, and they need some right about now.
Yeah, I think a little gamesmanship. I mean, we talked to Myles Garrett, obviously, after the game, and he was, we talked about the fans booing and so forth. He didn't seem like he was in a lot of discomfort or anything like that. And he wasn't on the post-game injury report. But then we were a little surprised yesterday. We went out to practice and he was listed as having a neck injury. We didn't see him on the field. So obviously Myles Garrett's not on the field 2 days before the game. A little concerned, but I think that he wasn't going to be held out of this game. You could kind of dictate by the moves. They didn't go out and sign a defensive end. They already declared Jadeveon Clowney out for Thursday's game on Monday. So you knew that Isaac Rochelle would probably be promoted. And then you had Chase Winovich, who's the third defensive end, put on injury reserve. So if you didn't have Garrett, you really wouldn't have much left but the two rookies. So yeah, I'm not surprised he's not playing, or he is, that he isn't sitting out. That said, I mean, Conklin, I think this should give a boost to the offensive line. I think it was very positive news that James Hudson played pretty well the first two games. He wasn't a problem. And when they look at the big picture, they drafted him to bring him along, kind of like Nick Harris, when they did behind Treader. They have a decision to make with Conklin at the end of this year. He has a big salary, at the end of his contract. So I think that that would be a shot in the arm, putting Conklin back in there. I think this was the plan all along, was to have him ready for the third game of the year against the Steelers. It makes sense. And Bitonio, I think, he's a gamer. He always seems to be ready to go. So I think, these are all positives. The biggest obvious question is the Clowney without having him. But you didn't have him for the second half of the game the other day. They scored 17 points when he was out. Whether that was a big factor or not, Garrett said it was. So it's going to be on the young guys, Alex Wright, Isaac Rochelle, and Isaiah Thomas, to step up and make some plays and get some help there, from Joe Woods creating some blitzes or something a little more aggressive, to get some pressure on Trubisky.